Good morning. Emma Davis here. I'm a veterinary business and career coach. I'm joined by the lovely Ice Cream, the horse. And funnily enough, we're having a rough start to the day. And yeah, I just thought I'd share with you, don't bite me, she's a bit hungry, how to manage decisions and transitions, and some of the tips that I've learnt through getting coaching and through coaching other people and through the training I've had through Scott Harris and Bernice Allen and Sam Brent and other coaches. So good morning if you're just joining in. You're joining me on the mummy struggle of trying to get off the property, look after all the animals, and get to my first appointment at 10 o'clock this morning. Good morning, Rubes. And it has not been a graceful morning, to put it lightly. There has been a mum who yelled, and that incites in me shame. And that's really difficult because I, like many veterinarians, am quite the perfectionist and want everything to go well all the time. And when it doesn't, funnily enough, it actually makes it go worse, because instead of going easily on myself, I immediately jump back about 10 years, and my brain starts bashing me up around it. And that's what happened this morning. Is some old triggers happened, and so I don't know what happened. I think Jazzy smashed the door into the tiles, and that was a trigger for me, because we've had a lot of smashing doors, not by me, recently, and that's really created a lot of fear and anxiety in my world. And as people know, I'm transitioning out of that and doing the hard yards to get into a more stable and calm environment for Jasmine and myself, and it hasn't been easy, but it's really important to do it. So why am I sharing this with you? Because I coached someone else through a big transition in the last few days, and they made a big decision that was very hard for them, and he's really glad to have made that decision, and he got the response he was after this morning. And he said thanks, and that he was really glad that he'd done it and gone through the process of making a decision, and then decided what was best for him, and actually stood by that decision even though others might disagree. So yeah, it's really hard to make decisions around life, because as you open a door or close a door, you're closing off other opportunities, or there's a sense that it's a forever decision. And I'll challenge that, in that things aren't a forever decision, but it feels that way when you're making it. And so there can be a lot of anxiety around it. There can be a lot of fear around change, depending on your good morning, Sarah depending on your DISC behavioural assessment type. You might be more resistant to change than others. You might be a high D, like I can be, and be very decisive and move very quickly and leave others behind. It's countered nicely with my high I, which is all about people. But I can go from a high I, all about lovey, lovey, lovey-dovey, into a high D, let's just get this done, enough's enough now, very quickly. And that's quite a big transition. Oh, now we've got a cat joining us. Hi, Catty. Who are you? Or if you're a peacemaker and you're a high S, then change is really not in your makeup. A lot of vets are high S and C, which is steadiness and conscientiousness. And a lot of vets that I'm finding are that. Now, I was talking to another client last night, and it might be because I've self-selected them through the work that I do, and the people that are attracted to coaching might be self-selecting. So that's a bit of epi and statistics for us. So I do remember some of it, Guy. And or it might be that across the board, vets are, disproportionately high in S, which is steadiness, and C for conscientiousness. And if you think about the type of work we do, it makes sense. Like, we are the peacemakers in difficult situations for people with their pets. We are conscientious, which is, really scientific, detail orientated, precision and detail. And for a surgeon or managing difficult medical cases, then you know, and I was coaching someone last night who's a really high C off the scale C, and he also loves you know, that detail, getting his teeth stuck into the detail, being the expert on things, and people for him rattle his chain, because people don't usually play by the books, and it's all about relationships. And a high C, so conscientiousness, can sometimes leave people behind, and just get stuck into the detail, and also can be very dare I say pig-headed, because they need to be right, a high need to be right. So yeah, so in managing decisions and transitions, I guess from my experience this morning, is accept that we're not perfect, we're just human, and then live from that space. Like, I know that I'm not perfect. I don't claim to be perfect, but it's funny how old habits about me being accepted play through my head. So, you know, I was brought up where I really felt like I had to achieve to be seen, and I had to get things right. There wasn't any room for failure, and because of that, I had a very harsh internal dialogue around making any mistakes. And if you watch Brene Brown's work, there's a lot of stuff around the shame that can incite. So if we are failing on the inside, or failing our high standards that we've set for ourselves, then we can be super, super hard on ourselves, which then of course doesn't lead us to actually do better, because then we feel shame, and then we feel bad, and then our behaviour can get worse. And anyway, so the way out of it is to go easy on yourself, is to recognise, like, the more you know about yourself, the better. So if you know your DISC behavioural assessment, and you know, like the fellow I was talking to this morning, that he's a high S, he's a peacemaker, he's steady, he doesn't like rocking the boat, but he just made a big decision, then you know, he can make the big decision, perfectly capable, very smart guy, and capable, and knows himself, but it is that natural response to go back to how you designed under pressure. And like me this morning, I went back to my high D, you know, let's just get this done, let's get out the door, you know, not kind, gentle mummy mode, but come on, let's get out the door now. And I was unhappy with that behaviour. So, but instead of bashing myself up about it, I just was able to recognise that my head went back there, and I was like, okay, now what's actually important, and take a chill pill, spend some time with this scruffy ass horse here, and you know, Jasmine and my relationship is the most important thing. So. And me looking after myself is actually the most important thing too, because I am going through quite the transition, turning into a single mum, with lots of animals, oh my goodness, and a big farm. And it's not easy. No one said it was easy. I've never designed an easy life for myself. And but I've learnt through the coaches that I've had, and this is what I'm training other people in, is that we have to self-care first. We have to look after ourselves first, and from that place, then I don't turn into a raving, yelling, screaming mum. I snapped, and then I went, hang on, and I walked away, and I helped myself and looked after myself and nurtured myself until I was calm again, and I didn't, you know, go down that raving, loony mum yelling path, which I have done before. It doesn't help anyone. And I guess give myself a bit of grace, and you know, why not talk on Facebook about it? But give myself a bit of grace. It's been a very difficult few weeks. I'm doing really well. I'm not perfect. Anyone would find this really hard. And yeah, and at the end of the day, what's most important is that I'm okay, that Jazzy's okay. If I'm a bit late for school and I'm a bit late for the first appointment, you know, the horses have got to be okay. They've got to get out where they can have their feed. Yeah, just actually focus on what's important and give myself the grace to get through it. So welcome to my crap morning, sharing the worst mornings ever, here live with Dr. Emma Davis, career coach. But I mean, I am helping lots of people through big decisions, through moving forward, through making more money, through having happier lifestyles, and I'm really happy with the successes that I'm getting. And yeah, if you're interested in talking about being brave and taking big steps for your career and your livelihood, and you know, you want to make more money, you know that there's more inside of you, then I can show you how to manage yourself to get the best out of you every day, and to live the life that you want to live, and not let your brain and the fear and everything hold yourselves back, but to actually take the actions that you need to do. Go easy on yourself, but get things done, and design a life and a career that you're really happy with. And yeah, and I guess that's I do my gratitude ritual every morning, and basing each day in gratitude gives you such strength and confidence to get through the day. And here I am, I'm through that mummy blip. I'm nearly out the door. Horses are happy, and I'm just gonna get little one off to school, and then I get a coffee. Woo! Okay. All right, reach out if you want to talk about coaching. I want to talk about transitions and decisions that you've got to make, and I'd love to support you through them. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.